Well, hello everybody, Smithy here, and welcome to another Test Drive Unlimited video. This is going to be slightly different, guys. I play this game every week, most days, and I wanted to know how many people on Steam play this game regularly, like dedicated, so do all the live events each week. So for the last 5 weeks, I have recorded how many people have completed the live events. Give or take maybe 20 or 30 people. And it makes really interesting reading how many people complete all 3 races, 2 races, or 1 races in each event. So if you go over to SteamDB, it tells you that there's usually about anywhere between 100 and 300 concurrent players at any given time during a 24-hour period. Obviously, players come on, play half an hour, go off. So obviously the player base is quite big. If you go to deeper delve into the stats at SteamDB, it ranges between how many copies sold on Steam, anywhere between 65,000 and 200,000. And even if you go with the middle, which is about 95 to 100,000 copies sold, it also tells you, if you deep into the data, that around about 17,000 active players. So it'd be really interesting to see how many play each of the races. So the live events I'm going to show you now are the American Cars Road Trip, which gave us a hat at the end. We've got the Winter Celebrations that gave us the car wrap. You have to go and buy the car as well, but there we go. New Year's Eve live events, which gave us an emote. And finally last week, the Hong Kong Grand Tour. Obviously the first live races were before Ibiza, so there's also some interest to see, did Ibiza pick up more people? So what I did, guys, is I waited to the end of the race. You can see it's 8 minutes gone on this one. I waited to the end of the race, did not finish the race, and waited a long time in all the races. So this is race 2 of the American cars. And you'll see, all we're going to do is we'll quickly go through the others, but that's what I did. For every single race you're going to see, I waited to finish last, just to see which position on the charts. And I always did it the day before it changed. So usually the Tuesday, it changed on the Wednesday, so I did it usually Tuesday evening. And you can see here, guys, so I did 8 minutes 30. So in this particular race, where did I finish? I finished 1004th. Okay, guys, so 1,000 players completed, separate players completed this event. So let's have a look at the other 2 events and see how many completed those. So obviously this is using one of the older cars, so I wondered, and you look, 430 players only completed this race. So the third race of the tour, because I thought it might be a favourite one, I left it even longer. I went 13 minutes. So this is the last live event, and I completed 900th place. So that's quite interesting to say overall, that 1,000 players completed one race, 900, but only 400 completed the other race, which is quite interesting. So let's move on to after Ibiza then. So I don't know if you noticed, people, that after Ibiza, when the results come through at the end, we have got a massive lag wait from that position. Look, I've got and this happens all the time now since Ibiza. There's a big lag, and then look, 1168 for this race. So I finished 1168 on this go. For the off-road race, though, guys, we had a massive load of people. 1358 complete it. And for some reason, guys, I lost the data for the third race, but to say the least, I knew it was a lot lower than those previous 2, and the off-road race was the highest of this week. First race of the New Year event, not many people did it. 571 or thereabouts, but it was an old car race. So this was the race that most people did on this live event for New Year. So people, each time someone has a favourite race, and they just keep doing it over and over again to get their points. And on this particular one, for the New Year's event, we had 1,121 players complete it. And for the last event of the New Year's event, 730 people completed it in that week. So I thought last week's event, we'd probably get more players wanting a t-shirt than an emote, but you never know, guys. Here is the first one up. That lag is still there, guys. 1478. That's one of the highest numbers we have had in any weekly event. However, in the next race, guys, as you'll see, only 610 people completed this event. So this is the last one from last week. Not in these done in no particular order. 1,084 people completed this event. So let's go and summarize those 4 weekly events then. So guys, this makes really interesting reading. On that first event, we had 1,004, 900 and 430 complete the event. The winter celebrations obviously was the wrap. So we got 1358 in one race, 1168, and it was 700 to 800 players in the final race. The New Year event was only for the emote, so player count dropped for that week, and it was New Year, wasn't it? Christmas, New Year. 1121, 730, and 571 players. And Hong Kong Grand Tour, obviously, we're back to having something substantial. A t-shirt. We got the most players completing a tour race in the last 5 weeks. 1,478 players completed that race. 1084 completed the other race, and 610. So it's quite interesting how we have got this dedicated core of players who will come on to try and achieve all the different races as we go through. Be interesting to see what you think, guys. What I'd love to know is someone on a PlayStation, someone who's doing TDUSC. I would love someone on a PlayStation and Xbox to try the same thing, just to see how many players we actually get week in, week out on TDUSC. I mean, it is a brilliant game. I'm loving it. Still loving it. Sound is just the best. Yeah, I'm going to continue playing it and wait for the next updates. But there you go, guys. Hope you found this video informative and interesting. Might have been a bit boring, but if you're still here, guys, go on, slap that like button. Share it. It really makes some interesting reading. And I'd be really interested to know, really, if are there 17,000 players playing regularly, because you can now understand that if that's true, we will be still getting support for this game too in the future. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.